Welcome back to Raiders franchise here on Madden 25, as today we're going to take on the 3-0 85 overall Cleveland Browns, and I still am considering that slider change. Depending on the results of today's game and really just how the game feels, we might end up making that change for Week 5 against the Broncos, but right now it just feels a little bit too easy. I know we're 2-1, we got blown out by the Chargers in Week 1, but beat the Ravens by 10. The Panthers, I don't think either of those games really were as close as the scoreline ended up indicating. We do have a press conference, though. What are they going to be asking about? I wonder. Hey, you still don't have Max Crosby, your best player on the whole team. How are you going to deal with that? We'll see. That's probably not what it's going to be. We'll talk about Gardner Minshew and how he's played up to this point. Well, that's an interesting question because we've turned over the football a little bit too much, probably. But we're throwing for a lot of yards. I would say yards per attempt is probably up there. We really haven't been sacked very many times either. I think the offensive line is honestly playing a little bit too well. I get that Colton Miller is one of the better tackles in the league, but you look across the rest of the O-line, it's not really that good, right? Like Andre James is a very solid center, but you don't have guys that are incredible. Your quarterback is frustrated by your answer, and his intense personality means his morale drops by 10. Has he not done yards per attempt well? That feels wrong. He's 10th in the NFL in yards. 9 yards per attempt. It's not like the best figure of all time, but that's pretty good. Only been sacked 4 times, I guess, but is 9 yards per attempt not good? Am I crazy? There was only one player in the NFL with the yards per attempt over 9 last season. Brock Purdy with 9.6. The next highest was Tua Tagovailoa with 8.3. Yet 9 is not a good yards per attempt, and Gardner Minshew's frustrated by that? How could you possibly be frustrated? How could you be? This video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. They have season-long picks right now, and I like the value on quite a few of these. You can use code BENGAL on Underdog Fantasy. You can get a 50% deposit match, but here's this. Instead of just a chance at $250 in bonus cash, you can now receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash. If you're a high roller, any deposit $2,000 or more is capped at $1,000. But I feel like I like where some of these numbers happen to be. Josh Allen, 27.5 passing touchdowns. Obviously, he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, and maybe losing Stephon Diggs could hurt this production, but Allen's kind of exceeded this number, and I have no reason to expect that he's going to do anything different. Like, I get no Stephon Diggs, but 37, 36, 35. Last year's 29, but I have reason to believe he's going to bounce back more than take a step back. Tyreek Hill is just an animal. I think he could certainly exceed 1,435.5 receiving yards. And then I've got Jalen Hurts lower on passing touchdowns. Yes, I am a hater, but also Jalen Hurts has never exceeded that in his career, and the Philadelphia game is just so predicated on running the football. You bring in Saquon Barkley, I'm not sure that's going to change. But there's so many different season-long picks you can go ahead and put in. When you use code BENGAL, again, you get that 50% deposit match, but also, instead of $250 in bonus cash, you can now receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Use code BENGAL, make some picks, and send them to me on Twitter. I want to see what you guys are picking. I want to make some money too. All right, here we go. I love these Browns uniforms. Going back to this was such a great call. The helmet just really, really pops. Brown is a tough color to really get going, to be honest. It really is. But I think they do it well. I do. Going to these uniforms is a massive upgrade, and I really do think, and part of it could be that orange is my favorite color, but I think it's one of the better looking helmets in the league. Here's a... No, I can't. I think I will be demonetized if I do not censor that, but I don't know if you guys are keeping up with current events, but the Browns quarterback, not maybe a great guy. It's also good to see Nick Chubb back and healthy. He's one of the best running backs in the league. You always hate to see injuries, but even more so with some of the best players. Chubb is a freak. He's just a really, really fun player to watch. But the Browns are driving here. Our defense is not all that good, but they've played fairly well this season. Jack Jones is a pair of pick sixes, but he's going to have his hands full today against Amari Cooper. In fact, we might end up changing matchups by overall and having Nate Hobbs on Amari Cooper. That might be for the best, but down goes Watson. Butler brings him down. 69 against his will. The irony is insane. 3rd and 6. We're actually going to press here. Maybe we can jam Cooper off the line. He's not going to be wide open like he's been the entire game so far. And we are going to blitz, and down goes Watson again. The blitz works to perfection. Yeah, let him know about it. You can only imagine what Cameron Richardson is saying to Deshaun Watson. But slot blitz. He's actually made a couple of nice plays as a blitzer so far this year, so we're probably going to keep that up. I like his potential, good size and speed, and could be a potential starting corner for us in the future. We'll see. 4th and 16, Brown's going to try a field goal. This one is absolutely no question about it, right through the uprights, but not really a bad first drive. Our defense, they bent a little bit, but they didn't entirely break. Allowing 3, I think, is a win in that spot. We'll see what the offense can do. Gardner Minshew's upset that his yards per attempt is 9, and we acknowledged it. I don't know what we were supposed to say about it, but okay. All right, let's go offense. What can you guys do? There's Trey Tucker. Dylan Laube kind of right in the way there. Didn't really anticipate that. And it is frustrating that I try to make him the 3rd down back because he's a better receiving back. But then any play from the gun has Dylan Laube out on the field, which I don't want, as Minshew's going to find Michael Mayer, trying to get him a little bit more involved. Big stiff arm from Mayer. It's taking kind of a hit out of bounds. Kind of think that should be a penalty, but that happens all the time with pretty much no penalty for the defense ever. Although once in a while I'd like it to be called. And I'll tell you what, even if EA's like, well, we can't call it because then we would have penalties every play. Well, then change the way the defender logic is. I don't know. Zamir White coming off of one of his best games. Had a big run last week. Hoping to see more of that today. And we're going to go play action. On 2nd and 3. And what happened there? I will take another look at this. So, the flat, right, was wide open. And we were going to try to throw it to Zamir White. But instead of White running open to the flat, he runs straight into the back of Colton Miller and then Zadarius Smith. So he would have been open in the flat, but instead he wasn't. And we threw it to nobody. I love how often players get bumped in this game. Never grow tired of it. Always gives me something to talk about. Running the ball really well with Zamir White to start. Just finding space. And we don't need a 10-yard run every time, right? Sometimes we just play to stay up the middle, get the guaranteed yardage. I like more of the north-south approach rather than the east-west. With running backs, I feel like it's a lot easier to lose yardage. If you stay straight up the middle, be decisive as a runner, maybe you're not ripping off these long runs every play, but it's more consistent. And it's more about what the running game's actually about. As we're going to throw all the way across the field for Trey Tucker, and Minshew hits him. Good separation from Trey Tucker there, and one of the best corners in the league in Denzel Ward. Minshew with a nice throw back across the formation, and that sets us up with 1st and goal from the 4. We're probably just going to high point to Bowers or Adams here. And we're going to throw it to Devontae Adams, jumping and catching. Through contact as well, Devontae Adams was wide open. The high point actually made that a little bit more difficult, but our superstar wide receiver ends up finding the end zone, finally. Doesn't happen enough. It's like, throw it to Devontae Adams more. If the offense is moving, does it matter who gets the ball? And then it's like, well, why do you have Devontae Adams? You can't throw it to him every play, right? Oftentimes we're trying to be balanced. If we're just going to hit the check down to the running back or the tight end and Brock Bowers, that can be really effective as well. We have Gardner Minshew, right? We can't exactly stretch the field maybe as much as I might prefer. But we'll take points we can get them. And that was a really, really good drive. As Masterson has gone ahead and tackled Another Raider player. Maybe focus on the return man next time. And one thing I'm curious about that I have not really experimented with at all is if you show a particular coverage, right? Like we're showing, you know, cover 3 here really with a single high safety. If we're showing that, does that do anything to confuse the CPU quarterback? Like maybe that would be effective in Ultimate Team, right? Playing against somebody else. But does that do anything against the CPU QB? Watson goes down again. That's Malcolm Kuntz. We are really getting after it today. But I wonder if disguising coverages actually does anything versus the CPU. Really have no idea. Nick Chubb wrapped up. Nice tackle there. That was beautiful. It'll be 3rd and 18. Let's show cover 2 here, which I think is actually pretty good based on where the oh my goodness, based on where the safety comes down to. Deshaun Watson's actually fumbled the football. It's recovered by Cleveland, and they'll punt. Electric call from me there on the fumble. I was wrapped up in another thought. Amir Abdullah back to return. Try to look for some space here. One of the best spin moves I've ever seen. Unbelievable. They have Denzel Ward on Devontae Adams. That's a tough matchup today. But wide open is Devontae Adams. The ball is underthrown. Otherwise, maybe a real opportunity for run after catch there for Devontae. But a nice catch nonetheless. Denzel Ward getting bullied right now. If I said Devontae Ward for a minute, because thinking about Devontae Adams, my apologies. We're going to lob it deep. Oh, that's totally not even close to inbounds. Throw it to Devontae. We can't. But we're kind of bullying Denzel Ward right now. It's whoever Denzel Ward is on, that's typically who's getting the football, which is insane. As we're going to go for Jalen Guyton. Tried to pump fake that and then go back to Bowers, but maybe I didn't press the right button. I really didn't want to go to Jalen Guyton there in the first place. I'm actually thankful he ended up being open and that wasn't picked. But it's 3rd and 5. Trey Tucker maybe the most open, but nope. That's going to be intercepted. Martin Emerson Jr., pick 6. Maybe with a better arm we can get that out there. Trey Tucker had separation. Maybe the ball came out late. I mean, I can accept responsibility for that. I don't think that's a BS pick or anything, but I just thought Trey Tucker was open. But I guess he's playing the flat. He was able to undercut the route pretty easily. Take another look at it. I just thought he had space. I mean, that just made a mistake. I thought, bang, separation, right? Like, we throw it to the sideline. And we're already trying to throw on the break. Huh. I just thought it was going to be open. I don't know. I think I'd probably make that mistake over and over and over again. Well, we were in a great spot to kind of take over this game, go up 14-7. Instead, we're now down 10-7. Interceptions are tough. Pick 6 is even tougher. We really can't find any space with the Zamir White. Wide open over the middle. Brock Bowers. Again, with a better quarterback, maybe we have a run after catch opportunity there. Doesn't end up happening. And now it's 3rd and 1. I do want to give the ball to Zamir White. We have a ton of blockers out there. Just got to trust them. That's a really nice block pickup by Whitehair, but we're somehow not able to squeeze by him. Dude. How do we not get the first down here? I mean, I guess the block by Cody Whitehair, we're just locked in and not able to get past him. How are we magnetized to his hip? It's extremely frustrating. Do we go for it? I think we do, right? I think we do. It's 4th and 1 from about midfield. Are they not really stacking the box here? What are they doing? They're making it too easy. Zamir White, cut back outside, and a first down and more. Just over 2 minutes to play in the first half. Kind of been a quick first half, to be honest. We're going to check down to Zamir White, who drops the football. Maybe Dylan Laube should be in whenever we're out of the gun. The Zamir White drops are killing me. Here's 2nd and 10. Devontae Adams wide open. This is an opportunity to run after the catch. There goes Adams. You got a linebacker on him. You are in trouble. We're getting Devontae Adams involved today. There's no question. We just had him underneath running a drag. He ran away from everybody. You had a linebacker on him. What are you thinking? Easy pitching catch, and Davante Adams does the rest. That's the 2-minute warning. 1st and goal from the 7. I wouldn't mind trying to find Davante Adams again for a score, to be honest. Brock Bowers, I could see being an option as well. But I think let's just put Davante Adams on a fade. Trey Tucker maybe takes a safety, and then we have one-on-one. High point. Adams drops the football. Not saying it's the easiest catch ever, right? But it looked like it was going to end up being a touchdown. And then the safety came over and laid a big hit. Was really hoping Trey Tucker would take the safety, but we didn't give it quite enough time. So the safety never bit on the post. That's just a really nice play. And that is, of course, Juan Thornhill. That's a tough one. I'm going to throw a pick to Davante Adams if that's where the ball goes. Should probably look in the direction of Brock Bowers. I don't think it's there. Zamir White drops it. Oh, and now all the backups are in. Great. Dax Milne, Jalen Guyton, Trey Tucker. Potent receiving core. Maybe Brock Bowers gets open. We're going to try to fit it in there. And we do, but Bowers cannot hold on. It's an extremely tight window throw. It's not really there, but Minshew was able to squeeze it in. Bowers couldn't do his job, and we settle for 3, 10-10. 2-minute offense for Cleveland. Can't really cover all those things. Trying to rip that football out with Divine Diablo, but David Njoku holds on. I hear Njoku a lot. Don't think it's right. I think it's David Njoku. Now, there are some, like, Ndamukong Suh, I believe is correct, but I think it's David Njoku. So I would implore you to make that correction. I'm 90% sure that's correct, which is a pretty high percentage. So you're going to throw outside, and the Browns' offense is just cooking right now. We can't really seem to defend these receivers one-on-one, and that's why we're playing zone coverage, as to kind of not have one-on-one man spots, but it's just not working right now. Watson just giving it to us whether we like it or not, and we don't, and it's just happening anyway, and he's going to get away with it. David Njoku, touchdown. I mean, that is a superhuman effort. They keep running like this tight end trail type route combination, and we really just can't pick up both of these things. If they're going to run the drag across and then Njoku in behind, it's going to be a tough combo to stop. We're just not really able to right now. And Njoku is one of the best tight ends in the league. Really an unsung hero. He's debatably a top 3 tight end. I think we'd all agree on, you know, Kittle and Kelsey being 1 and 2. And then, like, the fantasy guys would probably go Sam Laporta, number 3, after his rookie season, which was incredible. And he's a great player. Love Sam Laporta. You know, one stat I would consistently reference in my draft coverage that year was how Laporta had forced so many missed tackles. I think like 20 across his career, which is pretty rare for a tight end, to be able to force that many missed tackles and be that elusive in space. But he was all about it. And that's just great coverage by Denzel Ward. We catch a break. But Njoku is in that top conversation. He's just so dynamic, so explosive, is a willing blocker at this point. He's really developed nicely as a player. Even if it's like last year looks like a true breakout year, Bowers is going to be open. Threw it either too late or too early. But that matchup is one we want to go ahead and exploit. Bowers on Delpit. I almost wonder if we can try that again, but they're going to have Denzel Ward out there. So where do we go with it now? Davante Adams? Kind of looks like a zone defense. Let's move Davante Adams over. It is going to be zone. No one traveled with him. So I'm thinking maybe Bowers can just run right at the safety. Maybe Mayer gets open. Maybe Trey Tucker runs wide open. We got a lot of adjustments here. Up the seam for Tucker, and it's undercut and intercepted. Like the idea, we just don't have the arm. Greg Newsome with the pick. Another great player on this Browns defense. He's awesome. I got to stop gushing over the Browns, though. I need to. Well, we've turned over the football a couple times already, and that is putting us in a bit of a compromised position. Our defense has not played extraordinarily well. You know, we only allowed the field goal on the first drive, but really all of their offensive drives have looked really easy. They just didn't happen to convert. We gave them the middle of the field. They're pretty easy. All of their drives have looked really good. We just didn't allow a touchdown the first time around. We got a really crucial sack that kind of stopped them in their tracks. They had the pick six, and then this one is another just easy drive. We saw the touchdown, of course. The Browns end up completing to Amari Cooper because, of course, they did. And they will try a field goal here to end the first half. We're down 20-10. Could be a lot worse. We'll get the football to start half number 2 as well. And maybe we get lucky with a kickoff return touchdown. We probably don't, but that's going to be our only chance here. Not going to bring the offense back out. Laube doesn't have the speed. And we'll go to the third quarter. Third quarter underway. This is our chance to get back in this ball game. It's only a 2-possession game. We have the football, so we basically can call it a 1-possession game because we have the ball. But, of course, we have to score, right? We can't turn over the football again, and then things would absolutely spiral out of control. There's still plenty of time. We can still run the football, and that's what we're going to do to start this second half. Come on, Zamir. Back up the middle. Zamir White with a good run. We got good blocks. Broken tackle from White, but we can't not bump Brock Bowers. 2nd and 7. I want Bowers, but Davante Adams I can see getting open underneath. And that's the type of throw that might previously be picked. But the DB had his back to Davante Adams in man coverage against somebody else. I felt like we could get it there with the separation Davante Adams had with his individual matchup, and we're going to give him a chance. 2nd and 10, working off play action. I think we have that. Nope, it's going to be intercepted by Denzel Ward. Well, we talked a lot of trash early. And again, I keep thinking we have separation with Trey Tucker. It's the second time we've tried to target him, and we've been intercepted. Just felt like we had space. I don't know. Tucker's one of the faster players on the entire team. I just thought this was enough space to get it out there with with Denzel Ward in coverage. I hope I don't keep calling him Devontae. But he just undercuts it. I don't know. That's tough. And I'll tell you, I don't know if these are throws we could make with a better quarterback. The only Madden I've played the entire year has been with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. Outside of the couple rebuilds that I've done, as Tyree Wilson will bring down Deshaun Watson with a thunderous hit. Heard that pretty clearly. So I don't know if we can ever even attempt those throws with that type of space. Maybe the corner in Denzel Ward is just too good. That's a possibility. But I really don't expect these to get picked. Sometimes I throw it, I go, this is stupid. But those ones I haven't. I thought we've had space with Trey Tucker. And it just doesn't end up happening. Good coverage down the field. We'll get the football back, thankfully. Davante Adams beats Greg Newsome here. That's what we need. We'll give him a chance. High point. Ooh. Tough. 3rd and 4. That's open. Brock Bowers. Nice. Torn labrum, by the way, for Zamir White. He's going to be sidelined for a while. I don't even remember that happening. Well, torn labrums are running wild. Bowers drops it. How are you dropping every pass, Brock? Killing me. It's pretty brutal. There's Bowers. Catches that one. And he fumbles! What is happening right now? Brock Bowers catches it. Puts the ball on the turf. It's not recovered in bounds. That's our saving grace here. Denzel Ward slides out of bounds as he recovers it. But that's very unfortunate. 3rd and 8. Feels like that's open. Jalen Guyton torches Denzel Ward. And finally, we find success again after brutalizing Denzel Ward for 2 or 3 plays in a row in the first quarter. He now has 2 interceptions since that happened. And now we finally see an open receiver. And we're able to hit him. Madison gets 1. 3rd and goal. Amir Abdullah into the game. Madison brought us down to the 1. But it's a long one. This might as well even be the 2. Broken tackle from Abdullah. And it's going to be 4th and goal from the 1 again. Do we take our points and make it a 1-possession game, but we need our defense to make a stop? Or do we try and score a touchdown here? And I think we're going to try to score a touchdown. It is a full 1 yard for Minshew. It's not end inches. But we're going to hope our defense can make a stop if the Browns are backed up into their own end zone. Minshew diving ahead and is short. The Browns get the stop. It was a fear of mine, of course. Minshew could not get it. And the Browns will get the football maybe on the inch line. Safety would be great here. I do think we run commit up the middle. Try to make a play. They're probably going to run the ball. Chubb looking for space. Safety. Malcolm Kuntz brings down Chubb for a slight loss, but that's all it took. That's all we needed was a slight loss. The Browns tried to run it out. Not a bad idea with Nick Chubb, but we ran commit. We swarmed to the ball carrier, and now it's a one-possession game after the safety. Need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. This is our first time seeing a safety punt the entire year. Abdullah actually split Browns defenders, but didn't have the speed to get by them for more than a moment. Bowers right up the middle. Wide open is Brock Bowers. Didn't fumble this time. 3 interceptions today, by the way, for Gardner Minshew. It's been disappointing, to say the least, but sometimes that's how it goes with me, a quarterback. Give Adams a shot. We just can't get it out there. It feels like every single ball is underthrown. 2nd and 10. Fumble! Andrews Pete recovers. Just go down, dude. We lose 7. Let's take another look at this thing. Tried to check down. Mo Hurst hits Minshew before he can get rid of it. And it's 3rd and 17. Honestly, just don't get picked here. We'll take 3. It'll be okay. A lot of football left to be played. We're going to go for Brock Bowers. He's open. It's underthrown, but Bowers makes the catch. Big first down. Every ball is underthrown by Gardner Minshew. It's pretty disappointing in my opinion. But it's Gardner Minshew. I'm not super surprised as Madison loses all momentum as we try to cut to the outside. Works in college football, 25. Doesn't work in this game for me. But a good run. 1st and goal from the 3. Up the middle. They're going to call that a touchdown. I think Madison may have been short. But for now, it is a touchdown that could potentially result in a tie ball game. We'll see if they decide to review this. And they won't. We're going to open up from empty. And we're going to try to rip this slant, and it's batted down at the line. We'll stay down by 2. All right. It's a 2-point ball game. 6:16 to play. Just got to keep it up. We have good momentum right now. Watson maybe going to look to run, and he's going to look to get sacked again. Tyree Wilson for the 2nd time. Nice. We just didn't run with that. We didn't run with it. Take a better angle. God. Watson taking off. You have to have a QB spy out there every play now? Is this a new thing that's going to beat us in the 4th quarter? Deshaun Watson scrambles. So he might have been hurt on that play, though. Famous Jameis into the game. This is the first time we've ever injured Deshaun Watson in a video game. Feels great. All right, 3rd and 3. We're going to run blitz him. It's up the middle. Where are we going? 1st down, Cleveland. Field goal is probably fine to allow. We know what we need at that point. It's a touchdown. Don't really want to allow a touchdown, though. Winston gonna get sacked. Our 6th sack of the game. We are absolutely flying after the Browns today. That was the rookie Tommy Eichenberg. 2nd and 21. Under 4 minutes to go. Screen! Winston spikes it, pressure in his face. Tyree Wilson was one of a few. And it is 3rd and 21. It's getting back. Winston kind of forced to throw it away. 4th and 21, and this might be a punt spot as well. They're going to be forced to punt. Way too long of a field goal. And a field goal now for us would win the game. That looks like a good punt, though. We'll start from our own 12. 3.5 minutes to go. We want to take time off the clock. No Zamir White. Probably prefer to get Alexander Madison back out there, though. No, Myles Garrett going to lift up Amir Abdullah like a baby. And then, unlike a baby, slam him to the ground. You shouldn't do that with a baby. You write that down. That's good information to remember. Do not lift up and slam down babies like you're Hulk Hogan. 2nd and 13. Check down Brock Bowers. We got a good block as well. There goes Bowers. Good route from Bowers. Are these not underthrown every time? Can I not throw to the outside? 2nd and 10. Can we throw that? We can. Michael Mayer's 2nd catch of the game. It's a big one. 2nd and 8. Looking at Bowers all the way. We were never going to throw to anybody else. Broken tackle, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers, another 1st down. And remember, we only need 3. Now, the Browns are going to call timeouts, so we do kind of need a 1st down. But we are going to run the ball, and that's great blocking. Madison back towards the inside. Browns forced to call a timeout, and that really should be the game. Unless something goes really badly for us. That should be the game. They're going to get an injury timeout? Are you kidding me? Dude, are you actually kidding me? Yeah, pretend to be mad. Devin Bush is faking injuries. That's complete bullshit. No, Madison's going to be stuffed. An injury timeout for me? Brother, what is happening? I also think that was Colton Miller holding his shoulder. It's going to be another torn labrum, I'm sure. Although he was on the bench, I'm sure he's going to be fine. That's insane that we're playing for a field goal, which is the right call. Back-to-back 2 free timeouts for Cleveland. We take a 1-point lead with 1 minute and 8 seconds to play. I mean, I've been screwed before by the game. And that's Madden 24, Madden 23, Madden 99. Any Madden you can think of, I've been screwed. Another injury. But this would be an all-time screw job if we lose the game. When we could have run out the clock completely. But 2 free timeouts have given the Browns life. That could be picked. It's not. Eichenberg knocks it down. Over the middle. Didn't react in time. Elijah Moore down to the midfield. Up the seam. Turn around. Winston going to take off and throw it away. Watson's been knocked out of this game. 27 seconds remain. I mean, I am going to run man here. I'm going to trust the guys. We got to keep them out of field goal range. We're playing with that, but Winston can take off. Oh, my goodness. That could have been the game if Jameis Winston decides to run. If Deshaun Watson's in the game, he would run, and that would have been a loss. The Browns have no timeouts. They need 11 yards, and they need to get out of bounds very quickly. If they throw over the middle, it's dead. Completely dead if they throw over the middle. Time going off the clock. Incomplete. Big hit on Njoku. The game may have been over if he caught it already, though. With 11 seconds left, you might be seeing a runoff if they tried hurry up, although it probably just would have brought out the field goal unit with no runoff at all, and they would have won the game. So, big hit and a big win. 21-20 is your final. We managed to come back and win a really close one. Did end up throwing 3 picks. Look at this, though. Watson goes 16 for 18 for 201 and a touchdown. Jameis Winston, 2 of 10. 29 yards. He was in a tougher spot, though, but, I mean, we were pretty much dominated. On the ground, Zamir White was great before tearing his labrum. Or one of them, and he'll be out for a while. Madison was decent enough. Running game was kind of hit or miss, and then receiving Brock Bowers, 7 for 110, 4 for 68, and a touchdown for Devontae Adams. 2 drops for Bowers and a fumble. It was interesting, to say the least. And then defensively, 2 sacks for Tyree Wilson. Kuntz got there, Eichenberg, Richardson, and Butler, with no interceptions, of course. But Tyree Wilson, I mean, what a game. Malcolm Kuntz is a really nice player. Forced fumble for Spillane was not recovered. This was a dicey one. Such a bizarre stat line. 7, 3, 2, and 9 for points by quarter. Very strange. Maybe wouldn't look so strange without the 2, but a little weird. Malcolm Kuntz with an upgrade as well. Just going to speed rusher here. 80 finesse moves would be very nice. Hopefully get a slight boost to block shed as well. A boost to block shed would make him a little bit more well-rounded. We get +2 finesse moves, play rec, and then +1 to tackle. Finesse moves into the 80s. Not bad. We'll get no pressure anyway, probably, with him. Now, we did actually get a lot of sacks last game, so maybe I should take that back. But it all seems like either, you know, the quarterback holds the ball forever, or it's, you know, like a simulated pressure, or, you know, something we've kind of designed, like a stunt or an overload. It's never anyone really winning a one-on-one, it feels like. The injuries continue to pile up. Jacoby Myers, broken finger. Be out for the next 2 weeks, which is really just going to be missing the next game. Max Crosby, torn labrum. Zamir White, torn labrum. All right. We are one of 3 teams that are 3-1 in the AFC West. It's been a very interesting season. I mean, we're lighting it up with Gardner Minshew, turning the ball over a lot. It's just what we love to do. Myers and Crosby will be out this next game, but we'll get them back for week number 6 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that'll be nice. But we'll have AFC West action when we return next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.